Is the pandemic over?
The pandemic is over. We still have a problem with COVID. We're still doing a lot of work on it. But the pandemic is over.
Hallelujah, the pandemic is over. It's not. John Pierre has something to say?
60-minute interview when he made those comments. He was walking through the Detroit car show, the halls of the Detroit car show, and he was looking around. We have to remember the last time that they had held that event was 3 years ago. Even as we're talking about UNGA, the president's going to speak shortly, as I just mentioned, that hasn't been held in person for about 3 years as well. So we are in a different time. He's been very consistent about that.
Despite President Biden's remarks that the pandemic is over, the White House has come out and said that there is no change in the COVID-19 policy. They also have no plans to lift the public health emergency, which has been enacted since January of 2020 and is set to run until October 13th. And they don't want to officially say the pandemic is ended. It's because all these temporary policies that they put in place would have to end, such as the student loan repayment pause would end. But back in April, this is what Fauci had to say about the pandemic.
We are at a low level right now. So if you're saying, are we out of the pandemic phase in this country? We are. What we hope to do, I don't believe, and I've spoken about this widely, we're not going to eradicate this virus. If we can keep that level very low and intermittently vaccinate people, and I don't know how often that would have to be, Judy. That might be every year, that might be longer, in order to keep that level low. But right now, we are not in the pandemic phase in this country.
But that's not the only thing the White House has walked back from this 60 Minutes interview. They have also walked back his stance on Taiwan.
What should Chinese President Xi know about your commitment to Taiwan?
We agree with what we signed on to a long time ago, and that there's a one China policy, that Taiwan makes their own judgments about their independence. We are not we're not encouraging their being independent. That's their decision.
But would U.S. forces defend the island?
Yes, if in fact there was an unprecedented attack.
After our interview, a White House official told us U.S. policy has not changed. Officially, the U.S. will not say whether American forces would defend Taiwan, but the commander-in-chief had a view of his own.
So unlike Ukraine, to be clear, sir, U.S. forces, U.S. men and women, would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion?
Yes.
So in summary, the American citizens are confused, the people of Taiwan are confused, and we're supposed to believe everything this administration says. I'm just not buying it.